Every place has a story. Every village has a story, and I want to tell a bit of the story of my place. This here is a dwarf Fuji apple tree. We planted this several years ago. We used to have a very large weeping willow tree here, and then a storm came through and blew one of the branches off into the neighbor's yard, so we got it out of his yard. And when we were cutting it up to dispose of it, we found that it was rotted to the core. That branch was very rotten. Then we checked the rest of the tree and realized that the whole tree was rotted to the core and was threatening to fall. So we took the whole tree down and replaced it with our little Fuji apple tree that we love a lot. It's produced apples. It keeps giving us more and more every year, so we're very grateful for our little Fuji apple tree. If you follow along the fence line here, you can see in this corner we have a much taller tree. This is a Rainier cherry tree. We didn't know that when we first came here because we came in the winter and it just looked like this. But we realized the next summer that this was a Rainier cherry tree, and my wife really loves Rainier cherries. So if we get a little closer, you will see that there are some branches off to the left here. I would put a ladder up against this tree and climb up on those branches to go pick those cherries for my wife. I ate a lot of them as well, but most of them made it to my wife. And you'll also notice that there are no branches really into the neighbor's yard. That's because our neighbor didn't really like the mess sometimes that these cherry trees can make. And so we asked permission, and I would be really mean to not allow him. So I allowed him to cut the branches off of his side of the tree so that they didn't make such a mess on his lawn. I believe the world is full of these little stories. That the global world is just piles of these little local, hyper-local places. And that by conglomerating these stories, we create a great global story. And it also connects us to other places, because these are my trees in my area. But when you feel people fighting for those trees in their area, you have that same feeling. There's a bit of empathy that those are their trees. And I would be really upset if someone wanted to cut down my trees. So I can feel for them, and I don't want anybody to cut down their trees.